Steve, you seemed very relaxed before the match got underway, but was there a slight sigh of relief when that early goal hit the back of the net?
Not really. Listen, I know my players, I trust my players. We've had a couple of disappointments, and I know they've always shown the resilience to come back and do what they can do. Like I said, no bearing on what's going to happen later in the year, but it's nice to finish this camp with a nice win.
A lot of talk about how Scotland strikers have struggled for goals over the last year or so. So how delighted are you for Che Adams today? What a performance, a hat-trick and an assist.
Yeah, good. Really pleased for Che. Listen, we know what Che can bring us. He's been with us for a number of years now. We know he's a top quality striker. Strikers need goals. It's been a little while since he got one, so I knew he was desperate to score. He gets an early one, which releases the tension a little bit. I left him on because I knew he'd be desperate for that hat trick, and thankfully he got it right on the final kick. And obviously the assist for George is big as well, so we play two strikers and both score, so that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, you will obviously face stronger opposition than Liechtenstein in the not too distant future, but a twin strike force, could that be the way forward for Scotland?
One, it's not the first time I've done it. If you think way back when Lyndon Dykes and Shea would be a front two for me, it's something that we've used before. It's like I said, it's just nice that they get the chance to get a few goals. Not most teams come here and probably win against Liechtenstein, but not too many come here and score four, so that's nice as well.
George Hurst also getting his first goal. Lennon Miller on his first start for Scotland getting an assist. For you, what were the personal highlights from this performance?
From this performance is obviously Lennon goes into midfield, plays beside Billy. Good combination, moved the ball well on a pitch that was very dry and very sticky. So that's nice. It's always nice. I've managed to get a few more first caps onto the pitch. So it's all about building the squad for the future. Obviously we've got the boys that we rely on now, but you look at the end picture on the pitch. There's a lot of inexperienced internationals, and hopefully over the coming years they'll start to pick up more and more caps.
Steve, how important was it to get this feel-good factor back? Obviously massive matches to kick off the World Cup qualifying campaign in September.
It's not really the feel-good factor. It's still a disappointing camp because we didn't play as we can play in the home game at Hampden. So I'm certainly going to carry that into August. There was a little bit of hurt and anger in the dressing room. I think you saw that in the first 20-25 minutes when the players were really on it. So hopefully we can harness that and take that into the autumn games. Like I said, these two friendlies have no bearing. If you look at the Nations League final between Portugal and Spain, in recent times, this Scotland team has shown how competitive they can be against that type of team. So you look at the two best teams in Europe competing in a final. We can compete because we showed that. What we have to do is make sure when it comes to September, October, November, we're very competitive again.
Just finally, Steve, there's been some suggestions that this might be John Carver's last match as assistant to yourself. Is that the case?
Well, I think the wave goodbye to the crowd was probably a giveaway. Yeah, listen, the thing with John is, when I approached him 5 years ago to come in and help us, I didn't think he'd be here for 5 years because he's such a talented coach. So the fact that it's taken 5 years for somebody to take him away from us, to give him a full-time contract and a three-year deal, is good for Scotland. Probably not good for John because, like I say, he's a very talented coach. We'll miss him. We'll have to look to replace him, and that'll be one of my jobs over the summer.
Have you got anybody in mind?
No, I've got plenty of people in mind. I'll have a few conversations, but like I say, John and I go back a long way. First cross paths back in 1998 at Newcastle when John was a young coach coming through, and I'd moved there with Ruud Gullit. We always said that we'd work together. Took us ages to actually work together, and when we first worked together we didn't think that John would be with us that long because, like I said, I thought somebody would come and take him, but we're pleased that he was here.